Okay, so yeah, because our neighborhood scale is basically more like urban design analysis. Okay, so urban design can help you a bit. Isla. Okay, for example, like this is a project that just, I mean, you see the like urban, I mean, large scale is already quite complicated, okay, issues. But then let's say the diagram has to be very focused and simple to one issue at a time. Otherwise, it's kind of a loss. So this is a analysis of Macau for some reason. We worked on here actually, but then we kind of like put everything, have an overall look together. Okay, wow. Okay, so diagrams, okay, in terms of diagrams, but it's not the only one. I'm just telling that there are any different way possible. And this one is talking about, so the main idea was we are talking about a square to redevelop and then show the bigger context that how, because in Macau, you know, like they have a trail, right? And there are certain sites and how they each are interrelated, and also a little bit of historic development. Okay, so kind of the same thing like Aaron is saying, the shoreline development. So this yellow line means that where our site is it, but over the time, how this shoreline is changed. Why is zooming out? Right. So you can see the quick picture as well. Sometimes it's simple diagram. And like this is like our impact area around the project. So this is to giving a texture. This is talking about the section itself, okay, of the site, larger scale. Then later we talked about, say, different strategies from the place. So that like Aaron is thinking, for example, connecting the food street and then the tracking, okay, bring people to here. So you can mark down that this neighborhood people should come. Even talk with a little bit more strategically, like actually how much walk you have to do. Say 300-meter walk means less than 5 minutes actually. Okay, 500 meter is 1 minute. Sorry, 5-minute walk. We said, and people never mind to do that. And then land use again, bit kind of thing. So this is a little bit of strategic plan around our site, and then this actually the site here. Sometimes section, right? You can use. Okay, and then model can also be a language. Now, not at this moment, you're not designing now, right? But later you can do. But you can also do a quick site study in the macro scale, micro scale, okay, or meso scale. Like for your case, like there are a lot of up and down, different scale change, topography change, right? You can do a quick form map actually just to show, and then also put the sunlight onto that. So you can also do study, okay, the context a little bit, but not detailed. Those are just like a very block. So similar way, we had a like project, again, this same style diagram. Now this is to talk about the context of it very quickly. Like we worked for a district in Bangkok. So it's in Thailand. This is the Bangkok. And then this is the district we are talking, that yellow next to the river. So river is the important feature. And then you can see the district, and this was the part we more focused on. And then this is the image, okay, of that district. So you are connected with that site very quickly. Okay, you see how much space we take, right? Only 2 steps that you are already connected to the site. We talked about some kind of like large scale issues. So be careful, like you don't have to only spend time on the larger scale. You also have to go to the micro scale, right? But this is, I'm showing only to talk about the macro, okay? So for example, this is what's talking about in terms of the time change, few things, right? River, infrastructure, city center, and then how the development happened. But why they're talking? Because this is related to understand that district. Now you see a difference between the project. The last one in Macau was a small square, and this one is a whole district, like a ticking length size to design. That's why this large was important, but maybe not for all the projects, okay? But if you think that some relationship is important, like the city river, like for example, maybe Aaron's case, the shoreline is an important feature. So I need to study that because my site is next to the shoreline, and this neighborhood have a lot of story related to that. Then go on. Even Chokewan, the name have some meaning also, right? You should even talk about it in terms of their history and myths. So two sides, a soft side of a neighborhood or place, and a hard side, in fact, okay, like the analysis of these things. But then soft side is, yeah, what is the name come from? What is the meat about it? What people think about it, etc. Now, the next one is also kind of like important things actually related to it. You can do also, you already did, I think, you guys. Now, this is more like important features. And again, this side have three features that are important: river, and then there is a historic street, like with the very nice, lot of different traditional buildings, and then a expressway, very strangely located, okay, on the right side. So these are the three things. And then the fourth thing was a canal actually also coming in. And then there are a lot of temples. I mean, but this is very common in many different places. So what makes that neighborhood different? Okay, something different. You can quickly also give an idea. Now we talked the whole issue of a whole district into 4 lines. Okay, we summarize. So that might be attractive for a magazine scale. We summarize there. This is the issue of that whole district after we did a research for 2 months with a big team, and then it's getting a small team. We said it can summarize. Even we make it a little bit of tricky way, that 4 negative lines. We said number one issue is that the shoreline is actually not working because there are a lot of these black buildings. I mean, private buildings. You cannot go to the riverside. Okay, number one issue. So we call is the first negative line. Second negative line was that historical street. Okay, very old street. This is one of the oldest street in Thailand. And a lot of these black colors are historic, and a lot of old style classic buildings, okay, different style actually. But then why it's a problem? Because nobody walk in that street. This is a high speed road. Okay, the car goes very quickly, a lot of dust, and nobody love to walk here. But this could be, okay. So we say that this is a negative one. And then the third one, obviously, saw that expressway. I mean, it cut off that area. So Aaron, I'm not sure that what is the environment under that. So here again, we showed it that what is the environment. You can see it's a different treatment than Hong Kong, okay, or Macau. So this is quite a negative space actually. Even some areas is actually blocked and walled. So one side to another side you cannot go. So that is another issue. And then the fourth issue is that because of the first 3 lines, the fourth line is the missing line. No connection from inside to the river. I mean, this way. So there is a very clear-cut separation and not good. So sometimes you see some broader issues also, like this neighborhood don't have a good access to the waterfront, that there is a very historic and something, or from this feature to that feature, or topography is the issues. So if I remember Andy, right, there is the old school, and then there are some school and then different neighborhood around, okay? So what actually is stopping them to doing something better, or what are the opportunities in front of you? So different way, you can also do analysis in different way. You also already know that, right? That called SWT analysis, right? SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. You can also see this way as well in neighborhood, right? What is the features? What is the possibility? What is existing problem? What is the possible problem? So again, for your cases, gentrification is a possible threat, right? The new type of use coming and old community has to move out. But the existing problem is that the double aging, we call. Double aging is a theory, okay? So somewhere we saw, especially in Hong Kong, so double aging. Now I'm encouraging you guys to always use some kind of keywords, theoretical keywords, actually coming from the theory. That makes your analysis and report more in-depth, okay? So what you're doing, but with some support of some other good theories, this looks more in-depth, okay? Why? Because so that your reports, your project, your even someone reading a brilliant idea, but at the same time it's also in-depth thinking, okay? Should look like this to the post-mouth and to the external examiner, okay? So it's not only the creative, but also good analysis, good background of the study, okay? So try to, I mean, I'm also try to sometimes time to time tell you if something comes to my mind, but you also need to look around. And once I say something, I mean, some keyword, give you the reference, you guys explore it, see if it fits with you, and it also be be good at that actually. I mean, you do some kind of add some knowledge about that and you see how it goes for your project as well. So this is not just a project entirely from the theory, but it's also coming from some kind of, sorry, not entirely from the creativity, but also coming from some kind of theory actually, or approach or method or tactics. Okay, that's why it's a interesting, so interesting thing. All right, so here some kind of, so you see that why I'm trying to show it, like it's a very, you can simplify the major and important thing, and people love to read this way. My own story is like when our group presented this thing, actually my situation was same as you today. Okay, I don't have enough thing in the hand. Another group already have a very good presentation. I actually did not have this thing. We only had 4 lines to draw. Okay, and then we have some hand drawing for this part, and then we presented it. But then our teacher really liked it because how we summarize the things and the key way. Okay, the coming. Anyway, so these are more urban design strategy things, but maybe you don't need it. But you can also see as something is around. But just see the diagrams. But at this moment, I think also too much color. This one out of control. And many new future things you also can line up actually the same way. Okay, then many way you can even like blow up diagrams. You can talk about different components, even within interior scale, right? A whole site, big site can have a different components within the building. Now, I bring you to another project. This time it was Sainkun, and this is in Hong Kong, and it's the first project we did. Now, again, Sainkun, all of you know, right? So we got a project site. This was the first time we did a project. I mean, when it comes to Hong Kong, the first project in the school, and I still did not know the Hong Kong much. So there are some routine check, like in urban design, we check what is the block size, means each size of the block, the building height, etc., etc. So this is very common check analysis, nothing interesting coming up. But then we see our site compared to the block, okay, the relationship with the street, and this is the kind of like relationship with open space and built form. Okay, so this was what we find out actually was very interesting was later. So this is just a way to show different things very quickly. You can see, simple way. Okay, deliberately put a different color for the site, so every time whoever's seeing, he can find the site easily and anything important. But this is not only for the reader, even for me. When I designed, it's helped me see easily. If I can see easily, I can make decision easily. Okay, it is pointing me something sometimes. How, for example, this one, for example. So we put everything together. We saw that this is a very grid iron pattern, what is somewhere you can see this in Hong Kong, somewhere you don't see it. But Sainkun suddenly very strangely have this kind of pattern. What we really did not show actually was in Sainkun was this one. The section was quite different. Okay, very high, right? I mean, you know, Sainkun like going down, almost like let's call that place, San Francisco, right? Yeah. So this is my first sight of Hong Kong when I came up and then opened it. Oh, it's going down. Now, the street pattern, but then we see that where are the hot spots or the nodes we call, okay? That like, for example, Aaron is trying to see. So around my site, and I found that, oh, there's a very busy place next to my site. We walk around, we stay, and then see where people love to gather day and night. Fortunately, this was very close to my university, so we can go. Now, why this place is busy? Because there are 2 markets. These 2 blocks are quite different. There are 2 markets, wet markets. Okay, so definitely those neighborhood that love to come, and this is also in the middle part of the street. This is the lower, and this is the higher. So somehow they can come here, and then they love to walk around because come to market and something. So you are near that. Is opportunity actually. Then we saw that future. I mean, MTR was still building. This is 2007. And then this is the proposed to open is, I mean, the entry point. And now we look at our site. Where is it? So this is the lower point. This is the higher point. So people might be coming down this way. Okay. Later, we even try to use the MTR because this is a government project. This is a government project. So we put all things together to make a decisions. Let's see how, and then we started to see, oh, there is an entrance, exit, exactly here. So people on the same level. And then there's the two markets. So this corner is kind of very, very different. Okay. And behind is there is that mad hospital right here. Okay, and then they're here, right? Yeah, and then this is a big playground. But map don't tell everything, because this playground you cannot come from here, right? It's very high wall, level change. So it's almost like a wall on the back. So that's kind of like give us something analysis. So you might see later how we decided that that's like came up. That there are two markets. This is the central street, and this is the hotspot we called, and this is the backside was kind of like a wall because it's height. So our strategy was like, this is the starting point. This is the busy road and how to bring people inside. And we said that the MTR station's entrance also can help us because both is government project. If they have an entrance here, and then we can push more people in the middle, and then kind of like thinking of layer and et cetera, to develop that. Okay, so this is like a strategy came up later after we understand it, and kind of like design element came up. Okay, so I bring you back to analyze again. This is the analysis helped. Okay, to understand the site. So it's almost like similar scale to you, but we did not we build new building, but you don't have to. And then other one was the sectional study, so important for this kind of things. Okay, that this is a very we found, of course, that typical section is very much typical. I mean, very much historical in the Hong Kong. So we go back to the time something, and then we wanted to keep it in the design actually somehow later. But we noticed it first, okay? Analysis stage. Okay, then presentation is not that good. This is still new in the SketchUp and rendering or even drawing. But then somehow this is the section actually talking about that life and everything. And that's the front plaza, okay? Kind of things. Again, now I think that it looked like typical public space design. Maybe if I do now, I'll do something even different material, okay? So why I'm sharing this, because just to tell you, like sometimes how to see a neighborhood, okay? And then how to represent it simply can help a bit. So back to here. I mean, okay, so again, you already kind of like seeing that we are looking at this four things actually, in terms of 5 learning outcomes. So number 4 is missing here. You can see the learning outcome. And number 4 is basically about the form and design. So that will come in the next stage. I mean, the same 2. But same 2, we also come back to 1, 2, 3, 4 again, okay? Because we want to see the impact, how you use that. So in terms of, again, like the diagramming and the nice graphic design magazine is here. And also I was telling to Alex, and he said that also your development log, okay? So how you document it and present will be here. Then number 3, see Bob, okay. All right, guys, you're working in the same point actually. So number 3 is actually that position. Now again, this is something extra. We did not tell explicitly. In before it was still under research, right? But then now we are very clearly showing that something, a positioning is very important. Okay? And read again. Then comes the place. So your proposal basically now you can understand is basically developed from the place, and then proposal comes purpose, right? But now a very nice, good proposal, okay, a program actually. So again, even here, when we did a program, we tried to like program, not a good diagram actually. I mean, here even we try to say different part of the use blocks actually, how they're interrelated, etc. Maybe more better in the architectural. So again, the diagrams can help, okay? So this is more interior scale, different strategy of design, philosophies, okay, behind. And then different scale, like how you develop different stages and use up your model, okay, to explain something. You know. All right, so our next step, I think next step is important. Yeah. So what is the next step actually? So next step, you know, like next 2 weeks, there is no major project. Yeah, so Bob is so happy. So happy, right? You don't have to come. No need, huh? So yeah, like, so this was supposed to be last week. We're still behind. Now let's see so even what I see from Aaron and let's see Andy and then others. So it also seems like you have to walk. I mean, at this moment we are focusing on 2 things because of the first 2 things. Your position, make it clear, very clear. Bring theories. But this theory is very open theory. Like last week we already talked. Okay, I don't want to repeat. Open theory means like it's more like a philosophy guiding. But then the care issues, right? That again, for Aaron's one, I saw that, okay, so some more images, some more diagrams, so that, for example, if Aaron want to talk about a neighborhood that is going down actually, but that comes later. But at the beginning, Aaron is more concerned about the fisherman, right? But at the beginning, you don't need to talk much about the place. Just more like a broader issue, okay, placeless issue, common issues. Talk more like a common issues, okay. But with those fantastic diagrams, I mean the collages, right? From who? The example we also see from you did also some, right? First week, right? And also there's some magazine examples, right? You saw them how they're doing, right? So how they're putting so you have all the examples in hand. So see like how they develop collage, put the keywords, it's more like artistic. Feel free there, but how to make it stronger? Okay, there is no guided rules and regulation. It's more like how it become a nice piece of art to express. Okay, it's more expressive rather than factual. Okay, so factual parts is here. What is I just was talking, and then Aaron was showing as well. Okay, so look at those magazines. There are different styles. You build up your own style to talk about the position, about care. The output is again some collages, but you can put some facts behind. Theory is also similar. You love something, you like something to talk about because someone say like that. Bring it, and then started to collage on that as well. Use of those kind of feelings. So looking at it's more like a poster design actually. Okay. Place is more. Yeah. So place is a lot of things to analyze, as you said, 2 scales: neighborhood and small scale. But then again, I'm also so one is the macro neighborhood scale, meso means site and in between, and then building, micro. Okay, so meso and micro are kind of very close, and then what is called macro is more about understanding the need and other things. So don't forget people. Okay, there. So you can find out the persona as well. Now, place you can also see in 2 different ways. One is more factual, right? That is like this kind of analysis, and another one is more like an image and impression, like that narrative map. Okay, and the building collage. So it's more artistic. So this is more analytic. This is more artistic. Clear. So within the same book, we see 2 approaches, and now that's why I showed my diagrams. Like within a few pages, you can tell a lot of things when you summarize. Okay. So I might be put the link again if you look, or some other example you find also good, but that's not the only one. Okay, there are a lot of good examples. Clear? Yeah. So I expect to see this too until now, because they will tell you what you should do. So I want to know who are the people in the place, who are the user, what are the issues clearly. Okay. Maybe not at this stage, but next time you talks about the proposal purpose, you will refer back. Look at my place. I told you. Look at the people in there. I told you. Okay. Look at my position and the issue, bigger issue. I told you. So then that's why this is looks a sound proposal for me. Okay. Yeah. That time you can show some strategy, something. So it could be also different. So let's put this way. quickly again. This guy always refuses to load. Okay, maybe this one. Oh, you can see, right? That's another thing. Okay, where is that? Zoom, share. Okay, screen. Where I am. Maybe this one. Okay, there's something here. Okay, so again, a simple thing. So place is telling you something, and position is more minor here. So position is the broader issue. How you connect it, how you present it. Okay, I mean, for the next step. So we are more now focusing on the next week is your purpose. And if you say purpose means a kind of actually a program already you're talking. Okay, so place is talking about you, the people, community, or the direct user. So last time we said that the community may be or may not be user, right? And of course the place. Now in the 2 scale, the building, does it have anything want to be? And the neighborhood, does it have any bad need? Now, again, the strategy. So here, program, you started with the strategy, like objective, right? As you said. So first thing might be the objective. Wow, so big. Very like. So we started with, yes, aim and objective, or just objective is fine, okay? Maybe objectives or objective. Now, where it come from? Because we see the issue. We are actually looking for what is the issue or need from people or from the neighborhood or even overlap with the broader issue I'm talking about, right? The need in a way. So this need is driving you to think about an objective. Okay, I need to face that. Now face that, don't try to be superhero, okay? I mean, you cannot solve everything. Remember, the limit is you are solving, if it's possible, within a spatial proposal. So first define the objectives, number 1. From the objectives, you started to look at the strategy, like any spatial strategy. So this could be beyond your site. Like, for example, everyone's case, yeah, good. So it could be, for example, in terms of might be spatial solution, like the linkage or strategy. We also do in the urban design, okay? Okay, we are developing a connection, possible connection here, because if I do like this, he started to make that linkage because this is existing and this is the new. So it automatically will be that, right? Or between 2 very important lines, something is missing. What will be here, okay? There are 2 important lines or missing lines, something, right? So it could be diagrammatic. Okay, it'll be beautiful to see, like you come to a conclusion after place and position into a diagrammatic solution. Okay, I mean, this kind of diagrammatic question. Okay, what's now? For example, last time we did a project in Central State. So we saw that, okay, here is a Soho and here is, what is the other thing? Lang Kwai Fong, right? Yeah. Okay. Now we are working on here. We asked what should be here. Okay. Simple question. And then there is a escalator. Okay. So you see the 3 components, and we ask the question, and automatically, who is reading your thoughts, he can read. Okay. So nice diagrams, simple diagram. I mean, this kind of thinking diagrams helps a lot. Okay. So my page is finished. Let me see if I can go back to that. Yeah. We are working with. So yeah, this one we talked last time. So yeah, bring you back to it. So purpose, again, our first stage is defining objective. But before that, at this moment, place and position. Positions are more like a broader sense, but place is more specific. Now he's telling you the issue, as I said, okay, what he has to be or want to be, then objective. Then he started to think about the strategy. As I said, the strategy can be spatial strategy, sometimes maybe not a spatial strategy, rather program strategy. I mean, like, we don't see the visual, I mean, the connection between this may not be possible, but if we put something here, a new kind of use, there is going to impact. For example, I find that my space is within a neighborhood. The job is a very important problem, job, low income families. And then if I can put some kind of training for them, they are very useful. Okay, this will help with some kind of training facility. Like, for example, they have a lot of raw material about the garment and fabric. So what kind of training with this raw material can help them? You can start to see the ideas and proposal. Or my site is next to a waterfront, but then nobody can go it. And then the neighborhood can use it this way or that way. Okay. So the possibility, so same, that's SWOT also can help you, the possibility problem. So use it again here, okay, before the strategy. So next stage, you can make reference to them. So once you have the strategy, use diagrams like that on the site location. I mean, okay, this is my site, but then the surrounding context is like that. So I'm seeing this. So this is one way, or another way is like conceptual strategy. What is the conceptual strategy? Like last year, one students came up with this way. Okay, elderly is the problem. I mean, not they're the problem. I mean, they have the problem. Like who's looking after them? Time pass or something, and then looking after the kids also get a problem. So the daycare center, right? But this is not a normal new, right? So put this way, and then there is something, and then let's put the bingo, right? I mean, like this way. What is the bingo? Like a elderly center come daycare center, okay? That they look after this. So this is an idea diagram strategy, but not the spatial, okay? You did this, right? Yeah. No, last year, yeah. It's actually already quite old concept, like 4 or 5 years before we got projects, even 2 years before. Yes. That's right. Okay. But I just use an example, like to show another kind of diagram, right? It's not about the spatial strategy, but more like a program strategy. Understand? So this also can be before that. So I mean, like this kind of diagrams come up with first, and then from there we started to see, okay, my center, my proposal these are the key functions, and this is the name. Okay. So then key function, he started to like kind of distribute. Okay, 70% will be that function, this will be that function. Then you started to go into the site-wise block diagrams or etc. etc. Okay, so you started to jump into the program. That okay, let's see block and everything. But again, this is the functional side. On the other side, spiritual side, like give it a soul, right? So how your concept also you are thinking actually. I mean, concept doesn't mean like that typical concept. It has a nice name. Not only that, even it can have a way of seeing or method, okay, of some kind of methodology or way of seeing it. Okay, like I'm designing a kindergarten. Okay, then I have a very specific theory behind it actually to support. Okay, or even when you talk about the issue or any stage, you can also add theories, okay, or keywords. So I said that, for example, Aaron, the double aging is a big issue. I mean, Shokuan is one of the big examples, Shokuan, and then, I mean, but Ongtaishin also have many old people, but they don't have this double aging problem. So what is it? So you search, okay? So double aging basically is, I'm answering, okay, is actually people getting older and also building getting older. Both is getting older at the same time. So some neighborhood have this problem. Ongtaishin don't have because buildings are relatively new. Population is elder, but the buildings are new. But then if you see Saingpur before or Toka 1 before, okay, we had the similar problem and very much related. So put theoretical word, okay? Now, in the concept also, like for example, I'm thinking about kindergarten and a very different approach from my strategy. And I call it, say, the forest, or no, let me say, learning under the sun. Somehow I found some references and then seeing, and that's my approach. Why? Because I more encourage outdoor learning, and there are a lot of theory about the outdoor learning. Okay, I still have interior, but then how semi-outdoor spaces can be, and then a lot of other approach and program can be developed. Okay, my building, whatever, I cannot see my design, but I can give you a conceptual sketch. Okay, so this is traditional classroom, and then what if I extend it slightly more, and then there is the outdoors is included, but then if it's a rain coming or something, so you with simple diagrams you can show your key ideas. Okay, so this is called party diagram. Now remember, after 2 weeks, actually what we'll see is called conceptual narrative. Right, that time this party diagram will be important, and you also see that maybe next step, another thing will be useful, the persona. Like last week I showed, say like who is the user, how he's using different spaces. Again, it's not the final design, it's more like a quick sketches, like the vision. Okay, like the dream, it should be like that. And then one more thing is kind of like we call the narrative again. I mean, but it has a different name. I mean, like more about the different spaces, what after what is going, okay, coming. So we started to design the strategy, I mean, the spatial strategy. Okay, are you thinking about designing by circulation, or are you designing by a main space? Okay, and you also might have a quick sketches again. It's not what is the space looks like, rather it is more like the vision. Okay, you can use some reference image, but more you draw together. Okay, I put a reference image. Okay, so okay, my kindergarten, the lobby is more like a mountain. So I got a picture from somewhere that the lobby is like double heights. People are more like this. So I put that picture. But then over the picture, I started to draw my vision. Okay. So this one best example I showed last week. You can see down in the Moodle that the guy used the old building and then redesigned. Okay. So how they do that? Draw the sketch over the image or the model or the site photos. Okay. So this kind of quick drawing can help to show the vision. So remember, same one, we are not seeing the design, but we're more seeing the kind of vision and strategy and proposal. Okay, more abstract thing. Okay, so you don't worry that, okay, my space will look like this or not, or the detail is not about that look like this, but more like these are the dark way of seeing or way of thinking. Clear. So if once you have these things, then it will help a lot later. Okay. So do you have a vision of a mountain in the entrance? That's important. Okay. Then later, a lot of different solution possible. So the problem is normally we try to rush too much. I mean, we try to give a solution without a vision, okay? Or one shot. Okay. What you see, that's the only thing. Okay. So if you have a vision and then try different things. So my vision is have a mountain in the entrance. So we can think a lot of different ways. Doesn't mean that you are go side by the mountain. It can be top of the mountain also, right? A space. How? Okay. That's the answer come different way, right? You can be top of the mountain too. Different way of seeing. Clear? Okay, so these are the things on the next step. And also, if you need a clear list, we also have a clear list in the brief. Okay, magazine brief. You can see again what are the items should be there. Okay. Now and how to do the programming programming diagram. Also, there is a PowerPoint about that. Now, yeah. So take a look. Any question, specific question you have, then you can ask me. But start from that. Get ready. Okay. So I bring it back to this screen with the final sharing. Okay. So you see that next 2 weeks. And then I want to see the conceptual narratives, but with the same kind of things. Okay. that purpose and other things are quite clear. And then we have just 1 week to go in. So here we are now still with the place and okay, place and position should be clear. And what is their ending? Place is telling me what is the issues or need. Okay, I'm going to propose. You can do SWOT analysis or many different ways you can see. And both of them, and then together they'll say what it should be. Okay, what needed. So the breakdown we already know. Place means neighborhood, building, and people, user, or even the community. No, cultural analysis means everything. Okay, position means yes, any theory that guides you and the broader issue you're talking. So they melt down into this final question, right? With the link between this to the purpose. So next week, when, as I just showed you, the purpose, started to see purpose, but then again, purpose, everything I just told you in the drawing. Okay, I'll put that. Okay, so purpose means, yes, what is the objective? What is the strategy behind it? And then what is the vision of, what is the key functions you're thinking? What is the concept or different way of doing that? Okay, all is come with the diagrams and sketches. Okay, and if you think that some photo can help you, you can also put that. If you think some moody sample image and together with your collage or sketches can help, put it there. Okay. All right. So this is the conceptual narrative. I mean, what that space is going to be. Rather, I mean, it's not the solution, but more like a vision for it. Understand? So, what kind of drawing? Last time I'm saying one more time. So persona, if you remember. Okay, the persona, as I said. Yeah, just to remind you guys again. Yeah, so use the persona, use that this kind of conceptual sketches, series of spaces, the diagrams, okay, and even like some spatial vision as well. Okay? But the spatial vision, don't be too serious. Like it's not the final again. It's more like I want a space that is tall rather than okay, exactly color, material, not that, but some key things. But that is also the last thing actually. Before I really want to see like how you're approaching. I mean, who are the user, how they're going to use it. I mean, what is your vision about that? If you talk about the concept, so how can I visualize? Like for example, I said I need a kindergarten under the sun. Okay, so I already started to see the visualizing it. Okay, of course with some reason. I have the support behind is the analysis side and people analysis and some theory. Then how I'm organizing them in terms of conceptually. Okay, it might be by designing the circulation. It might be designing the program. It might be designing a certain feature or direction, okay, orientation, or it might be even I'm very much want to develop a certain element of design. What is the element? Like I'm more focusing on telling my whole story by the ceiling, or telling my story by a series of walls. Okay, or it's all about the frame, opening the window. Okay, so this is my key, heart of it. I already got a language. Okay, so this way you you can think, or you can, and of course all of them you can change later. But you started to like, I mean, visualize, think about it. Okay, so these are the steps. Okay, and these are the different way of diagram. So check again in the Moodle. Already have examples. Planning, spatial strategy, conceptual strategy. There are 2 book chapters, and the PowerPoint I shared from Postmouth. Okay, 2 PowerPoints. I also slightly showed last week. Okay, yeah. So last shot. Okay, going down. So of course this is about the magazine design. Like this is about the place, all kind of diagrams and everything. See, have you seen this one? How? Okay, and so please again. So this is also strategy, okay? I mean, from issue to the solution. Now here, these are the diagram things. Okay, here, visualizing the brief. Okay, this is actually expect to see next. Persona design, this too, okay, will encourage you. And one more thing. Concept, there is its section concept. Did I put it here already? It's spatial strategy. Oh, they're not here. So I'll put 2 chapters called from a book called the Spatial Strategy, okay, and other one is called Concept, okay. This book from this one, from this book, I'll put 2 chapters, okay. Let me see. I supposed to put it already here. Position of place and graphic design. Oh, not here. Okay, so you'll find it in the same place under here. Okay, I'll put it here. 2 chapters. Okay. Yep. Sorry, under here might be building up your proposal. Everything should be now under here. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Any question? Anything? And of course, for final stage, you can see how some tips on the computer program. And so see these 2 videos again. Okay. Restoration. Here also some kind of drawing I just mentioned. Okay. How they draw over the image to have a view, like this guy is talking, and then somewhere this 3D. But when they started, where is it? Yeah, something like this. Okay. So this is the existing photo. I mean, drawing over the photo. Okay, collage. If you have the side buildings, if you can go interior, take photo. If you cannot, maybe from the plan, develop something quick model and then start drawing. Okay. So see that again. So any questions? Anything? No. Okay. No question. Is it clear? Yeah. Then my recording is done. So I'll put it again. Oh.